So, speaking of Zionism, now that Israel already exists, what is the purpose of Zionism?
Zionism is the self-determination of the Jewish people in our ancestral homeland. So first of all, as long as we have some existential threats, Zionism is still relevant. We're still fighting for our self-determination in our homeland here, especially
How so?
well, especially because the world wants to delegitimize our right to exist in our homeland. Your questions, even of of why of the democracy and Jewish state. What other country is thinking about these questions as almost like a justification to us being here? Only us. And so, as long as there are threats to our existence, and I don't just mean military threats, we have internal threats, threats that Jewish people have had for thousands of years, and the very real threats of internal division that have caused the exile of our people from this land a few times because of our own internal divisions. That's a threat. And the third threat to me is economic. How do you live in a country where in 20 years a third of the people here will be ultra-Orthodox, a third will be Arab, and a third will be the rest of us, when 50% of ultra-Orthodox men don't work? It's just not sustainable. So how do we create more workforce participation and, in general, more participation into the destiny of our people in our ancestral homeland? That's why Zionism is still relevant.
Is opposing Zionism inherently anti-Semitic?
That's a good question. I think it is, because if you believe in general, and I think Gadi Taub said that on your program, if you believe in the self-determination of people, but you don't believe in the self-determination of Jewish people, you're an anti-Semite. So I think that anti-Zionism is a very convenient way for people to be anti-Semitic and still be politically correct. And if you scratch the surface of most anti-Zionists, they're real anti-Semites. And so in practice, absolutely it is. Anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, because if you don't believe in Jewish survival, then you're an anti-Semite.
Among Arabs who have a different connotation or a different experience of what Zionism means, do you still see that the same way?
Well, you don't have to be a Zionist, but if you're anti-Zionist, it's different. I don't think most Arabs are anti-Zionist. They're just not Zionists. That's okay. I don't need them to be. I don't need it to be. I don't need.
What would the distinction be if you had to explain it?
Look, an Arab doesn't have to be gung-ho about the Jewish people returning to their ancestral homeland. They have to accept that Jewish sovereignty is the reality, that they have rights, that they have opportunities, and that overall this has been a successful venture that they're part of. That's it. That's all they have to believe in.